Gerardo Reyes came to this country with the hope of achieving the American dream. He left his family and culture in Mexico to earn a better living in the fields of Immokalee and to send money back home. He was disappointed to find abuse in the system.
When you arrive here, you realize that the saying that goes around here, that you can be whatever you want if you work hard, becomes a really strong contradiction when you start to work in the fields. Because what you're going to find is a situation of stagnant wages, situations of checks not being paid to you, situations of violence that we have seen also in the past, and specifically in the cases of slavery, extreme situations of abuse.
The modern-day slavery Gerardo is referring to is also called human trafficking. People being tricked or coerced into leaving their home and then compelled to work for little or no payment. They are exploited and often forced to live under inhumane conditions. Gerardo's witnessed abuse and lived with victims who escaped from forced labor. This experience led him to join the Coalition of Immokalee Workers to expose and fight the problem. For the last 10 years, it's been the job of Chief Assistant U.S. District Attorney Doug Malloy to prosecute perpetrators of human trafficking. He says the crime often begins in a victim's home country.
But someone that they trust in their home country says that you can come here to America and work in the service industry or waiting tables or promise of work in the fields, and they'll pay a nominal fee, like a $500 debt, to be transported here. Once they're here, they find that their debt is increased to $5,000. I mean, who are they going to go to? I mean, they're here illegally.
Since so many workers are undocumented or vulnerable in other ways, they are often afraid to speak out. This keeps the abuse hidden.
The slaver also puts additional charges. They charge for housing, they charge for a false green card. They charge for a number of things that sometimes is kind of outrageous. The last case we did, they charged $15 for the use of a hose to shower. And so their debt really never goes down.
Malloy also says the slavers can be people they trust. In Southwest Florida, many victims hide in plain sight.
They're afraid of retribution against their family by people related to the slavery organization in that home country. So they don't feel they can come forward. They also don't want to give up hope that they eventually may actually reach their goal of paying off the slavery debt and being able to send money back to their family.
Florida's most recent human trafficking conviction is known as the Navarrete case, where 12 men were locked in trucks overnight, forced to use the bathroom inside. They were beaten and abused.
One of the things that is unique about that case is that not only were they illegal immigrants, but they also had alcohol problems. So the slavers played on the alcohol problem that they had, so they would keep them, they would give them alcohol during the course of the day and then a lot at night to continue to enslave them.
Giselle Rodriguez is with the Florida Coalition Against Human Trafficking. This group is one of many organizations trying to help victims. She visits farms across the state handing out water bottles, not only to keep workers' bodies hydrated, but to also encourage victims to come forward. She believes the community has a responsibility by knowing the warning signs.
Victims will not make eye contact. They seem very depressed, very anxious, nervous. They're not going to want to talk or communicate. You may actually see signs of physical abuse, marks, bruising, welts.
Gerardo Reyes now investigates cases of human trafficking in hopes of educating and empowering other farm workers. He says the life and the job of the migrant worker deserves respect.
It's frustrating because the reality is that we do one of the most important jobs that could exist, which has to do with food. Putting the food on the table, for us, that's something sacred. So I think that there's a lack of understanding on the importance of the labor we do. An element of dignity that has been stepped on for many decades. Historically, that's how the food is being produced. And I think that we're in a time to change that. We have to change that.